This video is for anyone living with chronic physical pain, especially if you've sought treatment, tried everything you reasonably could, and still wake up in pain. I hear this question all the time. Do you ever miss who you used to be? Do you miss your old life? Do you wish you could go back to the person you were before the pain? My answer? Of course I do. I would love to have the body I had before chronic pain became such a big part of my life. But I've also realized something. Spending all of my time wishing for the life I used to have was actually preventing me from fully living the life I still have. I know what I'm about to say may sound absolutely crazy and maybe totally ridiculous. But trust me, if someone had said this to me 6 years ago, I probably would have thought they were crazy too. But embracing my physical pain became one of the greatest transformations of my life. I've actually been living with chronic pain since I was 18. There were good years, difficult years, and then 6 years ago, everything just changed. The pain became unbearable. There were days when I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit comfortably, I couldn't stand for long, I couldn't sleep. Every single movement hurt. My entire life revolved around simply getting through the day. That's why I spent the next 6 years searching for answers. I had surgery after surgery, treatment after treatment, physical therapy, injections, doctor after doctor. I kept believing the next appointment, the next procedure, or the next specialist would finally give me hope and then give my life back. And honestly, I don't regret a single one of those decisions. In fact, I want to give credit where credit is due. I had amazing surgeons, amazing pain management doctors, and an incredible physical therapist who never once gave up on me. Without them, I honestly don't know where I'd be today. Those surgeries, treatments, and years of physical therapy changed my life. They didn't eliminate my pain, but they dramatically reduced it. Before my surgeries and treatments, I used to joke that my pain was a 15 on a scale of 1 to 10, because that's honestly what it felt like. Today, many days my pain is around a 4 or a 5. Some days it's a 6, and every once in a while it's an 8. But that, I see it as tremendous improvement, and I will always be grateful for the medical professionals who helped me get there. But eventually, I reached a point where there simply weren't many treatment options left. And sometimes that's where we find ourselves with our health. We've sought medical advice, we've tried the treatments, we've done everything we reasonably can. And despite all of that, the pain just remains. That's the point I'm talking about. Not giving up, not refusing treatment, not losing hope, but accepting the reality that healing may no longer mean eliminating the pain. It may mean learning how to build a meaningful life alongside it. And that's when my healing journey took a completely different path. I realized I had a choice. I could spend the rest of my life chasing a cure that may never come. Or I could make peace with the fact that this pain was probably going to walk beside me for the rest of my life. So one day, I had a little conversation with my pain. And I said, all right, you're that pain in the neck friend who's clearly not leaving me. I didn't invite you, and I don't particularly like you. But since you're determined to stick around, we might as well get along and learn to live together. And oddly, believe it or not, that changed everything for me. For years, I thought healing meant getting rid of the pain. Now I realize healing meant changing my relationship with it. Making peace with my pain has actually helped me make peace with my limitations. But it also helped me discover everything I can still do. Instead of asking, why can't I do that anymore? I started asking, what can I do today? I used to walk briskly on the treadmill for 40 minutes. Now, I split it into 1 or 2 slower walks of about 15 to 20 minutes each. Is it different? Of course. But I'm still moving. One of the biggest mindset shifts I made was realizing that physical therapy wasn't something I did until I got better. Physical therapy became my workout. I stopped comparing myself to everyone else. Now I compare myself to where I was yesterday. I've learned to exercise differently, rest differently, sleep differently. I've stopped trying to force my body to be the body I used to have and started learning how to care for the body that I have today. The pain is still part of my life, but the battle with my own body isn't. And I think that's something we don't talk enough about. Look, I want to be very, very clear about something. I'm talking about chronic physical pain after you sought treatment and reached a point where there simply aren't many options left. I am not talking about accepting abuse or toxic relationships or situations that are harming you. Those are situations where I will always encourage you to seek help, protect yourself, and when possible, leave. Those are two very different conversations. This is simply my story. It may not become your story, but if you're living with chronic pain and you've reached that place where you've done everything you reasonably can, I want you to know that your life doesn't have to stay on hold until you're completely pain-free. Making peace with my pain didn't take my life away. It gave me permission to start living again. Maybe healing isn't always changing our circumstances. Sometimes it's about changing our relationship with them. And sometimes that's where our greatest transformation begins.